don't know who needs to hear this, but it's going to take more than women being pretty for men to approach them anymore. I keep seeing women complaining that men aren't approaching them. And as someone who used to wonder about this too, I'm going to tell you exactly what I learned and how we can fix it. Here's what I've realized: these men are exhausted. They're tired of being used for free drinks, tired of being seen as walking ATMs, tired of putting in effort only to be ghosted or given fake numbers. And listen, I get it. We've been taught that our beauty should be enough, that men should pursue us no matter what. But the reality is, we've created an environment where approaching us feels like a lose-lose situation for them. I used to think men owed me their attention just because I looked good, but here's what I learned: no one owes us anything, not their time, attention, energy, or money. But we've been programmed to think that being pretty is our main value, but then we get upset when men only see us for our looks. Think about how hypocritical that is. We want them to value our minds, but are we actually developing our personalities? We want them to see us for who we are, but do we even know who we are beyond our looks? I had to look in the mirror and ask myself some hard questions. Am I showing interest in him as a person, or just what he can provide? Am I bringing peace to his life or drama? Am I someone he'd actually want to build a legacy with? The truth is, we've made dating transactional without even realizing it. We expect men to approach, pay, pursue, while we just exist and wait to be catered to. But here's what changed everything for me. When I started focusing on what I could offer instead of what I could get, everything shifted. The relationship I have now with my fiance is proof that when you develop yourself beyond your looks, the right man will see you as a true partner. We wonder why good men seem unavailable, but maybe they're just protecting themselves from the games we don't even realize we're playing. We can't treat men like they're disposable and then wonder why they've stopped trying. Our actions have consequences, but recognizing this is the first step to actually making a change. If we want men to approach us, we need to show them we're worth the risk. Let's start being the women who inspire men to step up, not the ones who make them want to give up.
The damage is already done. Men now feel like one wrong look could turn into a police report or a viral clip. Romance shouldn't come with legal disclaimers.
I just want to talk about the men not approaching women thing. If you are a man and you are watching this, you have to be not afraid to be rejected. That's part of the game. That's part of being a man. You have to be okay with being rejected. You can't be a beta. You can't be a pussy. You have to go up to women and be fine if she says no. That's it. And it's not a reflection on you. She's just not into you if she says no. But go up to women. If you see a cute girl at the gym, there's ways you can go up to women that aren't creepy. Like, you can be like, hey, do you need a spot? Like, say something about their form, or just say hi. Just say hi. It's so easy. If a girl's looking at you at a bar, go up to her. She wants you. If you see a cute girl at a bar, go up to her. You don't even have to buy her a drink. Just say hi. Compliment something about what she's wearing. Compliment, her hair, anything. It's not that hard. It's very easy. You just have to be not scared of getting rejected is the thing. That is part of being a man. So what? You want us to go up to you? So the girls have to not be scared to get rejected? That's what it's come to? No. As a man, you're the one that has to put yourself out there and be okay getting rejected. That's the risk that you take by being a man. So man up, everyone. Pull up your pants, find your man card, okay? Because I think you lost it. And go up to a girl this weekend.
It doesn't feel worth approaching anymore. Even if you get a number, it rarely leads anywhere. Apps are easier. Rejection comes quietly. At least the app doesn't call security.
This one's for the guys. Do you guys not shoot your shot with women in person anymore? Because I did go on this date with this guy that I met with on Circa, and he was great. He was, good looking, had a good job. We had really good conversation. But he literally told me that he wouldn't have the confidence to go up to me if we were at a bar, which I don't really understand because he is a good-looking guy. I don't understand why he wouldn't have the confidence to do so. So is this a universal thing? Do men just not approach women as much anymore?
You said you're not attracted to almost all men, so why act shocked when men stop trying? You can't reject the menu and complain the restaurant is empty.
The men of LA don't approach women. And I refuse. I will not approach a man.
No.
I'll literally make you so uncomfortable that it gets to the point where you have to say something to me because you have become you know what a little bitch you are right now. Like I've been in the same room as you for 45 minutes and you keep looking over at me and you think I'm going to say something to you. And you're looking at me, talking to other people, having fun. You're going to have to approach me. I'm sorry. I'm not dealing with it. And somebody told me that, like, yeah, the guys here literally say that they prefer when a woman approaches them. I'm like, not in New York.
I've met very attractive men that they literally, the only girls they've ever dated approach them. I was
Disgusting.
like, what? I was like, you're an attractive man too, tall, whatever. I'm like, how do you not just, you could easily just go hi. Like, you don't have to
Literally, you could just be like, hi. They can't.
Attractive men don't need to approach. The rest can spend an hour exchanging looks just to hear, I have a boyfriend. Eye contact isn't a down payment.
Question for the men. Why is it that men have stopped approaching women in public? Because I feel like back in the day, 90s, early 2000s, it was so common for men to walk up to women, strike up a conversation, maybe ask them out on a date. But nowadays, I don't really see that happening anymore. What's going on?
Men didn't stop approaching women because they got weak. They stopped because women got rude. Today, if a man says hello, he risks getting an eye roll, a disgusted face, or a dramatic reaction like he did something wrong. And some women act offended just because the man who approach isn't their type. And instead of saying no thank you, they react like he insulted them. And men are tired of being shamed for being respectful. Most guys are not scared of rejection, they are scared of humiliation. They don't want to be laughed at, recorded, or embarrassed on purpose. So good men don't approach anymore, not because they don't want to, because they don't want to be treated like trash for being polite.
Social media has spent years telling men they aren't wanted. Men listened. Turns out words still mean things.
I personally don't think that treating women, particularly with respect and decency and kindness and blah, 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 should be a left-wing or right-wing thing, just like I don't think that treating men with decency and kindness and love should be a particularly left-wing or right-wing thing. However, in the context of men acting this way, it's typically conservative traditional beliefs that underpin this behavior. I'm sorry it's this way. You've told all the liberal men that everything has to be 50-50 and that you want to be fully equal to him and he's going to act that out. He's going to expect you to behave in such a way that demonstrates that. And fair enough, you've told him that's what you want. It's no wonder that fertility rates are falling. Everyone is insane. To be honest with you all as well, I think that the sort of social conditioning that I just described around male-female behavior is probably why a lot of men now actively do not want to approach women and why women, the normal ones, are finding this very frustrating.
I don't know if anyone else relates to this, this juxtaposition in dating, so I'm just going to put it out there. Also, I'm waiting for my hair to set. That's why it looks like this. Okay, so in my early 20s, before I got in the relationship that I was in for a long time, now I'm single again, okay? But when I was younger, I was not very confident in how I felt. I don't think I looked as cute. I think I was always cute, but I was not as cute. I don't think I had an interesting life yet. I think I was ambitious, but I was still working out the kinks. I got approached left, right, and center. So many people wanted to take me on dates. Like, they would approach me at bars. But now that I've been single for the past year, I feel like confident in myself. I feel better in how I look now. And I think I have an interesting life now. Like, in order to be interesting, you have to have interests. No one's approaching me, you guys. It's crickets for the past year. No one's taking me on one date. And I'm not complaining. I'm not saying I'm not in a rush to get into a relationship again, but I don't know what it is. Why don't men approach you when you're more confident and you figure out how you look? Hello, tumbleweed. Sometimes I'll find out later after the fact through the grapevine or whatever that maybe someone that I crossed paths with thought I was cute, but they're not coming up to me and letting me know. So, what is happening? Literally, what is happening? I don't get it.
Women tend to approach only the most attractive men, and men who do approach aim younger anyway. Preferences exist, just not when men have them.
We need to talk about the number one thing that I hear from women, and it almost comes up in every consultation that I have. Why don't men approach me? Followed by, I've been told that I'm intimidating or that men are intimidated by me. I'm going to tell you something that might surprise you. In most cases, that is not what is going on. Here is what actually is happening. Men today are navigating in a totally different dating world. They're trying to be respectful. They don't want to come off as creepy. They don't want to interrupt you. They don't know if you're single or taken. They're terrified that they might end up as content, like here on TikTok. So what do? they usually hang back. And here's the other piece that women don't realize. Men need very clear, obvious signals that she's giving to him in order to have him approach. Not one signal, not two signals, 7 signals. Because neutral reads as a no. Polite reads as a no. Just a quick glance or a quick smile, that just one time still reads as a no. Women will be like, well, I looked at him or I smiled at him, but still at one time, he's not registering it. And online, I give the same advice. Women get online and they just sit and wait. So many women are like, well, I'm not going to say something first. I'm not going to be the person that's going to start the conversation. Even though they've matched, women still sit back and wait for him to make the first move. He still doesn't know whether or not she's open to having a conversation. Nudging and giving signals does not mean that you're chasing him. You're just literally letting him know it's safe, it's okay. And here's the part that always lands. Being approachable doesn't mean that you are dimming your strength. It means letting someone see the parts of you that are open. So men aren't approaching you because you're too intimidating. They're not approaching you because they don't know, they don't have the clearance to approach you. Anyway, I will stop there. If you want me to do another video talking about the signals that you can send to men so they know it's clear to approach, I can make a video about that. Just let me know down below. You know how much I appreciate you. I'll see you again soon. Bye.
Signals don't matter once a man checks out. Why sign up for rejection, public embarrassment, or legal trouble? Peace has better benefits.
Some women don't get asked out. Even when they're pretty and smart and have their whole life together. And a lot of people don't know this, but it has nothing to do with your value. Sometimes high value women, because that's what we are, get approached the least. And let me tell you why. First, you give off I'm good energy. You walk like you handle your own life. Men see that and think, well, she don't need me. Second, men are scared of rejection, like terrified. So if you look too put together, they assume you already got options, even when you don't. Third, you might look unapproachable without meaning to. Not in a rude way, just your face, your pace, your focus. Men only approach women who look relaxed and open. Fourth, a lot of men think you're already taken. Pretty women hear this all the time. I thought you had a man. So then they don't even try. And fifth, you may not be in spaces that make conversation easy. If your life is work, home, errands, and then work again, you won't cross paths with men who naturally start talking to you. But here's the truth. You can be beautiful, healed, kind, funny, and high value and still not get approached. It's not you. It's the perception of you. Men approach women who feel safe and easy to talk to. Not always the best women. So don't overthink it. You're not the problem. Your energy is just strong. The right man won't be scared of that.
What if the right man was burned too many times and simply quit? Most men learn the lesson from watching others. Sometimes the warning label works.
Women always ask me, what happened to men today? Great question. What started out as a good thing, encouraging men to respect women, has swung way too far in the opposite direction. Now, a lot of men are terrified of women, so they wait for perfect conditions before making a move. But courage doesn't exist without risk, and women can't respect men who don't risk anything. So as a man, if you want to be seen as confident, you've got to be willing to look stupid, to get rejected, to be misunderstood. So start by taking small risks. Approach women when you're out and about. Initiate plans with them. You'd be surprised how fast it'll work. Because women nowadays, they're not turned off by that kind of effort. They're starving for it.
Pay attention to me tonight. I'm so sick of this.
Oh my god.
Touch a boob, buy a drink. I mean, it's like very simple.
She's so mad. Okay, why is she mad? Well, because she got all dolled up. See that tight fitted orange dress, right? Did her hair, went to the nail salon, got a special little mani pedi, maybe did a little waxing because she thought she was going to get funky that night, right? And she went out and no one is giving her any time. Attractive girl. So she's like, what is going on? She goes home, she looks in the mirror. She's like, making sure. She's like, no, I look good, right? Ask their friends, like, is this look? Oh yeah, you look amazing, which they'll say even if she doesn't look amazing. But oh, honey, any guy would be just so lucky to have you. I know, right? And like, her and all her friends are just like, why? I told you, guys are tired. Guys are tired of you. They're tired of you pretending to want to take them seriously when you really just want the free drinks. They're tired of going up to you and you being like, thanks for the drink, doing this game you do. Tired. They're tired of the takers. They're tired. They don't want to deal with any of that. They're tired of, you meet all of these qualifications, right? You got all the qualifications and she's talking to you and she's like, oh, but, there's this one thing. He has a boat and it's red and I don't like the color red. Oh, right? Because they feel like they can be so picky that they've got everything met, but they can just nitpick about everything, right? They're tired of you. You want guys to come up to you, change your attitude, change your strategy, treat them differently, and that's going to have to happen over a long period of time, right? It took decades to get here. Guys finally saying, I am done with you. And social media played a big part because now they go on socials and they see women talking all their crap. So they're like, oh, I know what's going on now behind the scenes. When I walk away after buying you that drink, I know you're making a fool out of me. They're like, I'm done. You're going to make a fool out of me? Honey, now I'm going to make a fool out of you. I'm going to sit at that bar. I'm going to drink my scotch. I'm not buying you nothing. I'm not even looking your way. That's what's going on. Change your attitude. It's going to take a long time for guys to feel like you've changed genuinely, and then you'll see. But for now, especially in the cities, guys are just sitting back with their drink and they're just letting this drama unfold. It's hilarious. It's like, they're frazzled cats. Frazzled cats.
Arrogant in their 20s, delusional in their 30s, bitter in their 40s, alone later. They chose the bear. Men chose quiet. Different choices, same consequences.
If you go out and you are receiving non-stop attention, you need to go home and change. You look cheap and you look easy. I'm going to tell you the most counterintuitive thing you've ever heard. And I know, it makes no sense. But hear me out. When you do go out with friends or on dates or whatever the case may be, and barely any men come up to you, few, once in a while, whatever, that's how you know you did it right. You need to look expensive. You need to look like, if you are going to approach me, am I in your price range? Because this hoo-ha ain't cheap. And here's a tip to do it. Pick one asset and show that. So it's either your boobs, your butt, your legs, your back. Show no more than that. Men like a little mystery. If you show everything, what do they need you for? They can see every little curve on your body. They've seen it. What's to do? Pick one body part and accentuate that. So if you go out and you're feeling so good and every man at that bar is hitting on you, girl, go home. Nothing good will come of it. And the men who do hit on you are trash. You look easy as fuck. I know that's harsh, but mommy's here to help you. I love you.
If men don't approach you, you did it right, isn't wisdom, it's denial. Men usually sense the drama before saying hello. Intuition saves time.
So why do men no longer come up to women? I asked this in a TikTok last week, and it got so many comments, especially from men. And I just want to preface this with, this was no shade to men, this post was no shade to men, and neither is this one. I was just genuinely curious and asking. I love men, I think they're awesome, and I think that they're a little confused right now. But most of the responses said something like, we were told not to go up to you guys, and we were told that you want to be left alone, and you just want your own space, and you don't want us approaching you. Which for some women, that can absolutely be true, but I love meeting people in person, and I just think that it takes a confident person to go up to someone when you see them in person, and I think it's a really cool way to meet people rather than meeting people online. Men were also saying things like they were called creeps and weirdos, and they don't want to be called that. It's not a pleasant experience. But I will say that it has to do with how you approach a woman. Like, for example, myself and my friends have had men come up to us with a really, really intense energy, like a very in-your-face energy, and they're really nervous and they're kind of scattered and they're very pushy or weird, and their energy is just off. And one of the most attractive things to a woman is emotional intelligence, and that shows within like the first few seconds of meeting someone when they introduce themselves to you. So if you're gonna go up to a woman, just like take a calm, deep breath. If you see a woman working on her laptop or something at a cafe, you can go up to her and be like, hey, my name is so and so. I thought you were really beautiful and you seem interesting. I would love to get to know you more if you're interested, and then slipping her your number on a napkin or something, you know.
Men stopped approaching because it became toxic, shaming, mocking, TikTok call-outs, impossible standards. Now the attention is gone, and suddenly in-person meetings are romantic. Funny how nostalgia starts after the perks disappear.
This is literally the point of the love list. Single men don't go up to women anymore. The girl in this article is quoted saying that she thinks she's essentially too pretty and it's too intimidating to men. If you're a guy or a girl and you're too scared to go up to someone else because you potentially may be rejected, are you also like that in your business life? Are you also like that with friends? If you are that scared of rejection, I struggle to think that you will be able to be successful in anything you do in your life, because rejection is always part of the process. Until you switch your mindset, how are you ever going to expect to meet someone? Every time you think of going up to someone, remind yourself that that could be the person. So if you don't go up to them, you'll never know.
If rejection is just part of the process, then why is the expectation always on men to approach? Equality keeps tripping over convenience. Men didn't vanish, they just stopped caring. And that's what's shaking the system. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for next video.